Hello, good evening, and how are you? Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to another session of Ask the Doctors. My name is Dr. Frederick Unubohai, and I know you can hear me. We have some people already joining us. So if you can hear me, hello, good evening, welcome, and how are you? So today's program is going to be very interesting. First of all, before I go ahead, let me just say congratulations to every uh, Messi fan. For those who are not football fans, like one of my doctors here, you'll be looking at me like, which is body talk right now? But it's good to enjoy the mood. So I'm a Messi fan, and congratulations to every Messi fan out there. Now, today's topic: dangers of oral sex. The dangers of oral sex. And I'm the host for today. I have my co-host, Dr. Israel, Dr. Blessing, and we have other medical doctors tonight that'll be joining us. So if you can hear me, just say hi, good evening. Let me give you a shout out. So we have one of our doctors today, Dr. Temitope Ogushola, is already in the house. I'll be bringing him up shortly. We'll be talking about dangers of oral sex. Now, when I brought that poster out, let me say this quickly. A friend of mine called me and warned me. He said, Guy, leave this topic alone. No be you go tell us to stop what you have been doing. Now only this topic they give us joy. He said, leave this topic alone. I said, no, my brother, I'm not going to leave this topic alone. So we're talking about the dangers of oral sex. Let's give shout out to George. George, how are you? Good evening. I see you. Wilson, good evening. Mazi, I see you. Good evening. Mary, good evening. Tell us where you're joining from. So we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. Let me bring in one of our doctors tonight. Let's bring in Dr. Temitope up on the stream. Jamila, how are you? Okay. Dr. Temitope, good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Good evening, Doc. I'm fine. I'm very fine. Thank you.
So say hello to the people in the house, please.
So, good evening, everyone. I need no further introduction. Introductions have been done. I hope you
Yeah,
guys are ready for this topic.
yeah.
Ah.
So we have 97 people in the house right now. This is very
Okay.
interesting. You are welcome. If this is your first time on the program, again, this is Ask the Doctors. We meet here every Sundays by 8 p.m. Every Sundays. We've been having this program for the past 2 years. And watching from Lebanon, watching from Sierra Leone, watching from, okay, we have people on YouTube already, and we have people on Facebook. So let's open the
Mm.
floor. Let's open the floor. Everybody listening to me, what do you understand by oral sex? Drop it in the comment section. And then me and um, Dr. T will also rub our minds together. So tell us, what do you understand by the word oral sex? Number one. Doc, let's open the floor. You know,
Okay.
this is a program rated 18, and I believe that we don't have those who are less than 18 watching us. If you are less than 18,
Mm.
today's program is not really for you. We're not here to corrupt anyone. We're just here to teach. You understand? But we want to make this clear. The program is rated 18, but it's programmed to educate everyone. You understand? So, Chief,
Yeah.
what really oral sex? Can you help us break it down?
So, let's start from the word sex.
Okay.
Sex
Yeah.
is intercourse, sexual intercourse. So, sexual intercourse has to do with penetrating any of the orifices. Now, when I say orifices, I mean the mouth, the vagina. Now, oral sex, oral means mouth. Oral means your mouth. So, using the mouth to stimulate the genitals. When I say genitals, I'm talking about the vagina, the penis, some parts, sometimes the anus. So, we've heard of ridiculous complaints that, oh, my husband wants this, oh, my husband wants that, oh, my partner wants this. So using the mouth to stimulate the genitals and any other erotic opening in the body is classified as oral
Oral.
sex.
Hmm.
So intercourse, but using the mouth.
using the mouth. Okay, very good. I want to make a passionate appeal to everyone listening to us. Please share this live stream. For those of us on Facebook, help us share the live stream. While for those of us on YouTube, just click on the like button. Click on the like button so that YouTube can recommend this live stream to a wider audience. So Dr. Timitope has told us
Okay.
that oral sex means using the mouth. Hmm? Now, I know that as adults, people engage in oral sex. Now, most times we don't really know that this activities has its side effects, but at the same time, it has some benefits, right? It does have its own benefits,
Yeah.
benefits for um, adults and those in relationships. So let's talk about the
Yeah.
benefits first of all, because if we go into the dangers, it might look as if we are out here to tell people not to engage in oral sex. So let's talk about the benefits. I know that one of the benefits for oral sex is that it releases certain hormones that increases bonding. Am I right? So could you please
Yes.
go ahead with that? Let's hope we get the more doctors to join us tonight.
So there are lots of benefits of oral sex, and one, it allows relaxation. Some researchers have said it allows the woman to relax and the man to relax. It helps prevent hypertension. Even for people that even have a high blood pressure, it lowers their blood pressure. He also says that it even helps to prevent or reduce the risk of having prostate cancer.
Mm,
It also, I've talked about relieving stress, relieving blood pressure, high blood pressure. Um, for both the man and the woman, it releases anxiety, it
mm,
releases depression, it improves the mood. Some people said, okay, the sperm itself contain both oxytocin. Oxytocin is the normal hormone produced in women.
Sorry, sorry for cutting you. I'm sorry. So we have two doctors already in the house. Let me bring them
Okay.
up. We have Dr. Israel, and then we have Dr. Viva. Dr. Viva, your camera is not on. Dr. Israel is here. Dr. Israel, welcome. How are you doing, sir? Dr. Israel, can he hear me?
I see. His mic is muted and
Yeah.
was loading for a while. I don't think he's here
Oh,
now.
oh,
Which
um,
space is just there?
okay. Dr.
Yeah, Dr.
Viva,
Viva, I see you. No camera
no camera here. Dr. Viva,
and no audio yet.
no audio. Okay. Dr. Israel, are you here? Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Let's go. So, Dr. Timitope, you were saying something about the
Yeah.
benefits here.
So mood enhancers reduce anxiety, reduces the stress on both man and woman, reduces the risk of prostate cancer in men, lowering blood pressure. These are what some researchers have said. It helps to improve the mood because sperm has been said to
Okay.
contain both oxytocin and estrogen. So there are many other researches that brings out a list of so many benefits to both the man and the woman.
For those that are just joining, you are welcome. We're talking about the dangers of oral sex, dangers. But before going into the dangers, we had to explain what oral sex is, and at the same time, we spoke about some
Yeah,
of the benefits here. Now, if you have questions
yeah,
on oral sex, please, we'll be taking your questions tonight, and I hope that we will have the answers you seek for. And Dr. Temitope
yeah.
has broken down some of the benefits. I wanted to ask you a
Mhm.
question, but let me also give the answer, and then you will add to that. So I wanted to ask
Okay.
you, who should engage in oral sex? Who should engage in oral sex? Up
Mm.
the top of my head, I don't want to talk like a medical personnel right now. I believe that
Yeah,
anyone First of all, who is an adult? So kids should not be
Okay.
engaging in oral sex. First of all, kids should not, and this is why parents are advised to actually take care of their words, because we have a lot going on in this generation right now
Mm.
because of social media and a lot. So if you are a parent, you are a guardian. What we have in this current day generation is quite worse than the previous years when we were all growing up. So
Mm.
adults should engage in oral sex. Number one, I'm not here to promote whatever. Number two, who should engage in oral sex? Someone who is free from sexually transmitted infections. So I want to take it further. If you are not free from sexually transmitted infections, you should not, because there's a very high tendency that you might get infected or you might infect your partner. So let me throw it to you, Dr. Temitope. Who else should engage in oral sex?
So, oral sex involves using the mouth on the reproductive organs. So, you must make sure that you don't have any bleeding gum or sores in your mouth. Number two, you must make sure that you know exactly what you're doing. You're not going there to bite, no matter how kinky the activities. You're not going there to bite people. You're not going there to draw blood from their body. So make sure that you don't have any loose sores, any wounds in your mouth. Make sure that the person you are going down on, I'll use that word, doesn't have any open wound. Make sure that both of you don't have any form of sexually transmitted infections, the STIs. We're going to give a list of some of those, especially those ones that can be transmitted mouth to body. Also, make sure that the person you are going down on has a good hygiene habit. We had a talk with some friends yesterday. You go there, you're smelling some funny things, either from the penis or the vagina. Please, that's not the
Mhm.
place you put your mouth. So, hygiene,
Yeah.
disease free, no bleeding gums or bleeding private parts or vulva. Then,
Hello.
hello, Dr. Viva. So these are the, at least from
Hi.
off the top of my head, these are the people that we don't want to engage. So if you are free of this, then go on.
Yes,
Of
ladies and
course,
gentlemen,
no multiple sexual partners.
no multiple. We have Dr. Anneke Viva in the house, our beautiful medical doctor. If you don't know her, she's very popular on TikTok. So if you're on social media, you should have seen her face. We have Dr. Viva in the house. Dr. Viva, how are you doing? You're muted. You're muted. Your mic is on mute. Yes.
I
Okay. Now we can hear you.
We,
We can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. You asked how I was doing, and I said I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. It's great to have you join us tonight. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be on this platform or show. It's my first time here.
yeah.
Yes, yes, it's our first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have three medical doctors in the house. We're expecting two other doctors. No, is it two or three more doctors tonight? So we hope that we'll be able to accommodate everyone. If you have questions on oral sex, ask your questions. Now, for those who are just coming, we have said something before that yes, people can engage in oral sex. People do engage in oral sex, but sometimes there are dangers. Dr. Temitope mentioned something. He said some people engage in oral sex and they use their teeth. I have heard a story of a young man who came to the clinic, and said that we have some more doctors already joining us, and said that his partner engaged in oral sex with him, and he had blisters, cuts, bruises on his manhood. So she didn't know how to do the process, and then he got some cuts around his private parts, and he was really, really in pain. So people should know that you can engage in it, but there are dangers, and we have spoken about the benefits. Um, who should engage in oral sex? Dr. Temitope just broke it down. Let's ask Dr. Viva quickly. Dr. Viva, who else do you think should engage in oral sex? You can unmute your mic.
I usually forget this muting and unmuting mic. Sorry, guys. So the question is, who else should engage in oral sex, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So firstly, there is a legal age sex. So, and anything, if you don't get to that legal age, engaging in oral sex is considered as either sexual abuse or sexual assault. So people that have the right to engage in oral sex, let me start talking about legal, like accepted by law to engage in oral sex are people that are above 18. There is legal age in Nigeria, it's 18, and most countries is 18. So let's take 18. So if you're above 18, we believe that you can make some decisions by yourself, and you can think correctly and know this is good for me and this is not good for me. So if you are above, or at least the oral age, the legal age of engaging in sex, then you can engage in oral sex. I don't know whether I'm still on.
You're on. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear
So
you.
yeah, so legally, people.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh,
Dr.
connection has
Israel.
broken.
Dr. Israel, welcome. So we have our co-host here. Dr. Viva, your mic and your network went bad. So she just came back. Dr. Israel, welcome. How are you doing? Your mic is on mute.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
please. I didn't get your question. Your voice was broken. I don't even know if my own is
Welcome.
breaking.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Welcome.
bros. You're welcome, Doc.
Dr. Viva, sorry, we lost you because of the
So tell me,
network.
Alpha now. Good evening.
We're trying to
I'm
move
fine.
very
I'm
fast.
fine.
We're trying to move very fast because of time, so that we can take questions. Yeah, I can see so many questions in the comment section, and
Yeah.
so many questions already. So if you have questions for us, keep dropping it in the comment section. We will do our best to take your questions. So Dr. Timothy said people who are adults, people that know how to engage in it. Dr. Viva said you have to be legal age, who are in a relationship, you must have multiple sexual partners. Now, the reason we are saying this is to educate our people, because sometimes the infections you might have might be as a result of the oral sex you have engaged in. You know, there's some kind of STDs you might have in your mouth, in your throat, because you went to engage in oral sex, and people are not aware of this. So, Dr. Israel, let's come to you quickly. Then we'll go to Dr. Timotokbe and then Dr. Viva.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing you. Seriously, I will not lie.
Wow. The network must really
So
be
network
bad.
can join us. Network can join us. Dr. T, can you help us with one of the dangers of oral sex? What would be one of the dangers of oral sex?
So let's start from the what you call it now, the less serious part. I don't know, many of you have seen this video where this lady or where this guy had a bowl of pepper soup, and the lady was like, "Let's go inside," and suddenly I think they're engaging in oral sex, and the lady says, shouting, "What did you eat? What did you eat? What did you eat?" There was pepper in the man's mouth, and it went directly. Yeah. So first and foremost, you have to make sure that your mouth is clean. So danger number one, whatever is in your mouth can get into the woman's or the man's private part. If it's pepper, if it's spice, if it's something the man is allergic to or the woman is allergic to, maybe nut and you just ate groundnut, can be allergic. Secondly, is that if the man is having a cut or the woman is having a bruise or she's bleeding, you could transmit infection. both ways. Even if the man does not have a cut, if he swallows or discharge from the woman, for people that lick plates, if it goes in contact with any of the open areas in the mouth, it becomes transmission of infection. So, and of course, we know there's so many infections from hepatitis to HIV to HSV to human papillomavirus. So there are many like that, to gonorrhea, to chlamydia. Imagine having all that, swallow it in your throat. So there could be throat infections, sore throat. There could be oral infection, that is, infections in the mouth. There could be ulcers in the gums, in the mouth, on the tongue. There could also be blood-borne infection that is started from your mouth through those cuts or through the woman's cuts and went into the bloodstream. So there are myriad, there are lots that can transmit through oral sex into the body of both man and woman.
Thank you, Dr. T. If you are just coming, help us share this live stream. We're talking about the dangers of oral sex. The reason for this is because of the kind of life we've noticed that some of us live right now, and we want to help you. We are really engaged in public health, and we have 5 medical doctors on the live stream. We have Dr. John Ogwehi, we have Dr. Viva, Dr. Israel, and Dr. Timotokwe on the live stream with us tonight. So any question you ask us, don't worry. I will just direct one doctor. We answer this your question, and there we go. So let's take one question from the comment section quickly. Dr. John, how are you doing, sir? How are you doing, Chief?
Yeah, I'm good. Good evening. Good evening, everyone, sir.
Good evening.
Dr. John, I see you. Good evening.
I greet you all. Dr. Viva.
Okay, Dr. John.
Israel, Dr. Timotokwe.
Let's take one question from the comment section. Let's take one question quickly. This person is asking us a question. So, Doc, let's see this. It says, is oral sex even necessary? This is from Martha. So, Dr. John, what would be your view? Then, I would bring her up to.
Okay. First of all, I'm not in the position to say, okay, this is what you should do with your body and your partner. However, if we look at the typical expectation that everybody has from a sexual pleasure, or what we know as sex, it can be derived from practically any part of the body. I don't believe that the genitals are the only parts that are arousable during sex. Okay, so there are different parts. All parts of the body are sensitive during sex. So if some people have a preference to be satisfied during an arousal, there are various other means or various parts of their body. It's left to them. So it being necessary, it depends on the person. But if the real reason for the coitus is for reproduction and not just for pleasure, hey, we know that's they don't need oral for that. But if it goes towards pleasure and other things, depends on their preference. Depends on their preference, if it's necessary. I don't know if you all agree with me, sir.
I agree with you, actually.
Hello. Yeah. Are you still hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. So okay. You basically you're basically saying preference determines whether it's necessary or not. I think that's what you're saying. I can hear you, Dr. Fredo Star.
Sorry, Dr. Viva. Okay, Dr. Viva. Sorry, my mic was muted. So, Dr. Viva, can you unmute your mic and add to what Dr. John has said? Then Dr. Timotokwe would also give an opinion quickly. Why is
Okay,
okay?
someone asked if oral sex is necessary.
Yes, yes.
So I'll start by saying that it's, most times we believe that once when it comes to sex and how you should do it, most times when you are above, when you have attained the legal age of making decisions on when and when not to have sex, other people, your doctors, lawyers, won't really force you on how to go about it. So it is strictly your choice to decide whether you want to have oral sex or not. But the most important thing is knowing the nitty-gritties involved, the the negative and the positive effects of engaging in any act, in any way you want to have your sex, want to have your pleasure. No one has the right to tell you, hey, don't do this like this, once you are above the legal age, in all sense. So asking us if it's necessary is really not what we can answer. It is strictly your choice to say, I want to do this, I don't want to do it. So it's your choice. Our own duty is to tell you the nitty-gritty of the positive and negative effects it will have on your health. That is where we come in. So I think I've answered.
Yeah.
the
Dr. T,
question.
Dr. T, give us like 2 lines to this, and then Dr. Israel. Your mic is muted.
Dr. Vivas said it all, and she has added on to what Dr. John said. It's the same thing. The question doesn't apply to us. If you want to go to legal, it's your choice. You're an adult. You are making an informed decision. You decided this is what you want. Discuss with your partner. It's your partner you should have this discussion with, not with your doctor. Is it necessary? Depends on the individual's desire. Is it necessary? It depends on what you guys agree. And so that's it. Remember, I saw another definition where it says oral sex is using your mouth, the lip, and the tongue. There's no teeth involved. So know how. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. T. Okay, now when this topic came out, when I released the flyer on social media, I would extend this contribution to Dr. John, then we go again to Dr. Viva. Someone sent me a private chat. I can't really go to my private chat. My private chats are so messed up on all social platforms. And he said that I saw your flyer and I'm scared. I have engaged in oral sex. I do engage in oral sex. I think this person is a male. He says, now I am scared because you said dangers. What should I do? Dr. John, what would you advise someone that has engaged in oral sex? This is 2 ways, dogs in the house. Let's say this person has just one partner, and engage in oral sex.
Okay.
Then the other way, this person has multiple. This person is not one man. This person is one man, 10 votes. Then someone else, one man, one vote. What would you advise this person to do? Then you go to Dr. Viva. Dr. Israel is back. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so now although you were breaking while you were reading the question, so I didn't really pick it, but I think you're talking about multiple sexual partner. That's the point there. Okay,
yes,
so
yes. What would you advise someone that engages in oral sex with multiple partners and someone that is having oral sex with just one partner?
Okay, so the factors, the risk factors that makes people who engage in it more prone to infections. The very common one is that multiple sexual partners, the MSP. Now, people who have MSPs they are more at risk of having these infections because, number one, they are most likely to have all these infections that Dr. T mentioned earlier. They are more at risk of having ulcers in both their genitals and in their oral cavity, right? And then they are more at risk of or they are more prone to not opening up to their partners because obviously they want more. And in this situation where we're talking about oral sex, there needs to be some so much opening. There needs to be some. You can't just. It's not advisable that you just met someone today, you don't know much about the person, and all of a sudden your mouth is going here, your team is going there. So those people with MSPs, they are most likely to lie about their conditions, about their situations, and so if anyone develops or has this situation or has a relationship with such people, man, they are in fact the person just gonna run some tests already. So that's how I feel. So in summary, I believe that MSP increases the risk of infection, which is a bad side of having oral sex.
Let's now talk. Let's go to the gender. So we asked Dr. Viva for a lady that does not know the sexual status of her partner. If her partner has multiple partners, and she wants her partner to lick plates, you understand? Like, oh, make it lick her plates. What would you tell her to know? What would you want her to know? What would you want her to do? Your mic is muted.
Okay. So you asked for a lady that doesn't know the status or the sexual history, let me put it like that, of her partner, and she wants her partner to engage in oral sex with her, what she should do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's
yes.
First things first is that you shouldn't engage in something like, you shouldn't tell your partner to engage in things like oral sex without knowing the status of your partner, at least the basics. So as we all know, there are some diseases, sexually transmitted diseases, you can also get from oral sex. If you care about your health and if you think about being healthy, you must know the basic statuses of your partner, of certain conditions. So the first thing to do is, if you have a partner, you must do certain before you even engage, because most times in our environment, people that practice oral sex, they don't protect themselves. There are two things I'm going to say about this. So if you want this your partner to engage in oral sex with you, you firstly have to tell your partner, oh, I want us to start doing this, let's do certain tests, so that you'll be sure, you'll be confident. Both of you will go to a certain hospital and do certain investigations. There are a lot of them, certain tests, and know your status. It includes HIV, hepatitis B. So you do a lot of it to be sure, oh, this person is free from this, then you can hit it. Or you insist that your partner will protect himself before he or she engages in such acts with you. So two things: if you want to enjoy the entire pleasure, you don't want the protection, because in this environment people don't like protection. So if you don't like the protection,
Dr. Viva, your network. Hey God, oh, your network. Dr. Israel, let's bring up Dr. Israel. Dr. Israel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, I can hear you.
Quickly, tell us,
Dr. Temi, what is that now?
Your network. For those that, Dr. Viva, are you back? Your network. For those that engage in oral sex, what are those infections? Help us list them. I know you can have gonorrhea, you can get herpes. People don't know that you can get gonorrhea too through oral sex. You can get herpes, you can get chlamydia, and there are so many types of infection. What are those infections? So that we just list it for them, and then we ask Dr. Tim, Dr. John, Dr. Viva.
Okay, I think you've mentioned the most common ones. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you, but your network is breaking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your network is breaking. I can hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go on, please.
Okay. I think you've mentioned most of the infection that someone can get via oral sex. Though HIV can also be gotten via oral sex. However, studies says that it's theoretical. It's theoretical. That most persons getting HIV via oral sex is very low. It's very low. The only reason it can come to play is if there is if the person put in the mouth have some form of ulcer. That is when it can become infected. That is when it can become infected. Or maybe the person that is giving the head also have maybe some form of ulcer, and when put in the mouth, it can also infect the person. But by and large, it is the risk to getting HIV via that means is very low. It is very low. But in medicine, you never can say never. But studies have shown that it is very low. Also, because of viral load issue, if the viral load is suppressed, it's having HIV via that means is like zero. Let me just say it's like zero because of U equals to U. Also, you can. Are we still together?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, also, other kind of infection that someone can come down with, it can be intestinal infection. Yeah, some intestinal infection, mostly when these oral cells can be the mouth to the genital or the anus.
Oh, Dr. Israel, your network. Dr.
Yeah, I was actually enjoying what you were saying. Yeah.
Yes. So please
so
continue from where you stopped, please.
So because there's also the anal part of it, there could also be some infection going into the anus, into the intestine. And apart from that, I mean, anus, there's feces there. If it's not properly cleaned, you may get some into your system. So you may get some worms, some eggs of worms, ingest it, gets into your system, also into your intestine. So I'll quickly list about 7: chlamydia, syphilis, herpes, human papillomavirus, HIV, this name usually trichomoniasis.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we talked about intestinal worms. So I've mentioned 8 now: HIV, trichomoniasis, human papillomavirus, the herpes, the syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. And of course, some of those diseases come with genital warts and some other manifestations are unsightly.
Dr. John, let's go further again. In this our generation, sometimes people like shying away from the truth. I know somebody that says, I have never engaged in genital sex, but I engage in oral sex. I am free. The only time I know that I have a problem is when I engage in genital sex. So I use condom. But when it's time for oral sex, they don't care, do and undo. And we know that some of these STDs don't have symptoms. I'm not trying to bring down any gender here. Who do you think is more likely to get infected through oral sex? Would it be the male or the female more? Who do you think?
Okay. So okay, let me address your question from how you approached it. So number one, the fact that some people think that they are covered because they don't engage in genital sex, but they are washing plates and singers, they are musicians. So the truth is, but like we've just discussed with the last question, it is just as deleterious. Like it can be deleterious. Infections can be transmitted via that too. In fact, the same way we can reduce the spread of infections via genital intercourse by using barrier method. Barrier method can also be used for these plate washing and singers as well, where of course if you know that you have the injury, you're just practically doing the same thing, trying to avoid the question is laughing. Just practically doing the same thing, trying to avoid. So a good advice if you want, but if you react to the latex, or it won't be cool putting latex or rubber stuff into your mouth and all that. So desist. Now to the question you asked, who is more at risk? Everybody's at risk. Oh. I believe so. I believe everyone is at risk. Now the idea that um um the male gender can have it done on the female puts him at risk. The idea that the female gender can have it done on the male puts her at risk too. So even the microphone, the plate, the sponge, the water, everybody catch risk. So it's not a matter of maybe I did not put it here. As long as it's entering into your mouth, and if you are prone to it, you are at risk of collecting.
Hmm. Thank you, Dr. John. Dr. Viva. She's out. Okay. Dr. T, I don't know what is happening to our people's network
Yeah.
tonight.
So I saw a study where they used HPV, as human papillomavirus, as a study platform, and they saw that for both men and women, the chances of getting infected through oral sex, that is the infection looking at human papillomavirus, was about 83 to 82% male and female. So it's still both of them
That is-
getting it. So it's not really significantly, oh, more men, more women. No, it's still almost equal, and 83%, or let's just say 85% on an average, get this infection, whether you're male or female. Remember, if it's a male, you have your mouth, you have your mic. If it's a female, you have your mouth, you have your vagina. So long as there's fluids,
Mm.
so long as there
Yeah.
are fluids exchanged, both of them are at risk.
Yes, as long as there's fluid. And the funny thing about it is that we have one funny thing that we've not mentioned is the place of cancers. People are not even aware that you can get
Throat cancers.
throat cancers from oral sex caused by HPV. Now, somebody dropped a comment under the flyer and said, say all die and die. Why waiting happen? If you tell us to stop oral sex, no, there are some deaths that are not sweet. Oh. You understand? When is your time? Everybody should move. But there are some deaths that can be prevented, and one of them is the place of the cancers. Dr. Viva, okay, Dr. Israel, what you doing? We're talking before. Okay, let's go to Dr. Viva quickly. Now, advice. Let's advise everybody because of time. So let's not start dropping the advice one after the other. What advice would you give for those people that are already engaged in oral sex? One advice. Let's take it round. Your mic is muted.
I'm sorry, this meeting mic. So the advice I'll give people that are already engaging in oral sex is just like you mentioned, throat cancer, and about certain infections that can be gotten from oral sex. The most important thing to do, and the first thing I would advise them to do, is to get tested to make sure their partner, number one, is to keep one particular partner. Don't keep multiple sexual partners. And to make sure, it's one thing to have one partner. It's another thing to know whether your partner has multiple partners. If you have one partner that has multiple partners, you are as good as having multiple partners. So
Yeah.
it's not about keeping one partner. It's also to be sure to keep one faithful partner. Funny enough, you can't be sure these days. So first thing, do your part. keep don't keep multiple sexual partners. Try and keep one faithful partner. Then the second advice is get tested. Make sure you engage in routine tests with your partner. There are basic routine tests I encourage partners, people that engage in sex, in unprotected sex, to do at least 3 monthly. Engage in routine tests 3 or 6 monthly. Engage in routine tests. Routine tests includes HIV tests, hepatitis B tests, hepatitis C tests, and others. Also, I will add, if you engage in oral sex frequently, you have to get at least 2 basic vaccines. Firstly is to get tested for hepatitis B. Get the vaccine if you've not gotten. Secondly, get tested for human papilloma virus and get the vaccine. The vaccine can be gotten by by both male and female nowadays. So you can get the vaccines. At least you're sure you're safe from that one. Then we can talk about others, because HPV will expose you to throat cancer or cervical cancer, while hepatitis B will expose you to having hepatitis B infection. So if you at least have these 2 vaccines, you can be sure that you are at least safe from these 2. So this is the advice. Get tested with your partner. Don't keep multiple sexual partner. Get the basic vaccines you should get.
Thank you, Dr. Viva. Dr. Blessing is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just listening, I beg you, help us share this live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. Help us share. And then you can send stars too. On Facebook, you can send stars. On YouTube, you can send gifts. So let's throw the question open to everybody. What other thing would you want to add to what Dr. Viva has said? For those who are already engaged in oral sex, if you have not engaged in oral sex, my own advice would be don't engage in it until you have screened yourself and you have screened your partner. If you have not, that's my advice for you. So let's take it around. Dr. Temitope, Dr. John, Dr. Blessing. Let's take it around, and then Dr. Israel. Dr. T, quickly.
Yeah, thank you. I would say that one, go and learn how to do oral sex if you must. Don't be a learner. Learn how. Dr. Viva has already talked about the screening part. Number 2, and finally for me, there's something they call dental dams. Dental dams prevent direct contact. It's like a condom. In fact, I saw it online where the CDC was describing you can use a condom to make it. That is, you prevent yourself from coming in contact with the fluid, or the fluid coming in contact with your mouth. The same thing with the mic or the plate. So dental dams are there. You can get them to buy online. It's a social media global space now, so you can get them online. Barrier method, and learn how to do it properly.
Thank you. Dr. John, would you have anything to add again?
Yeah, it's funny though, but use torchlights. Look before you leap, or let's say look before you leak. Yeah, exactly, because things they occur. So it's best. Don't just be ignorant. I think that should be, don't be ignorant. Be aware of things like this. Search for further information on it. Like Dr. T said, learn. It's not as organic or as intrinsic as the usual normal one where you just know you insert this to this. There are techniques to it that you can be safe from. I also wanted to mention something. It's going off my head now. I think I'll come back. I had 2 things to say, but one has jumped off my head.
Thank
I'll
you,
bring it back
Dr.
now.
John. So I'll be
Yeah.
going to Dr. Wilson now, but I like the fact you mentioned look before you leap. It looks very funny. It sounds very funny, but people don't understand. You know, I don't know if it's the moment. Some people are carried in the moment. You just start leaking, and you are leaking disaster. You understand? It's painful, and
I-
we are not here. We are not here to tell you not to leak. I'm not here to tell you to leak.
Yeah.
I'm not here to encourage you. We're here to tell you the do's and the don't. If you must
So I
leak,
remember the point. Okay.
go ahead and Dr. Blessing will take over from you.
Okay. So if it's not your, I know a lot of people do it based on pressure. They feel it's the rave, it's the moment, and all that. If it's not your preference, don't crucify yourself. Don't feel you are abnormal. Don't be pressured into doing it. If it's not your preference, let your partner know about it. It just means you guys are probably not compatible. It's not by force, because by the time you are forcefully doing it, or you're doing it, you are most likely to contact something, because your technique might be dysfunctional already. So if it's not your preference, leave it. If you don't have chest to chest it, leave it, and let people who can do it. That's just it. Don't do it out of pressure.
If your skin no full, no poo body.
Dr. Blessing, how are you doing, sir? Do you have anything to add again? What would you advise those who want to engage, or those who are already engaged, that you want to add to what we have said? Advising you.
Me that I'm just coming, me that a late comer like this, hearing what I don't even know where to start from to ask for any other information that my season colleagues have already said, but if I talk, I could repeat it and talk. I am so sure.
That's
But
true.
I will what I would advise is simple. I will just reiterate what Dr. John, Dr. Everybody have actually said. For me, all of us, there's somebody who does not like pleasure, isn't it? So whatever it is that will give you pleasure, you should do it in a very safe combat. I don't know what else to say. Dr. Temi Tokwe have talked about barrier method. Whatever you do, be very much careful, because not only one life all of us get for this life. Not only one life, not little. So oral cancer is very real. You have infections going around everywhere, all this kind of thing. So please, it's better not to give up. So let us not put our hands into something
Yeah.
that's going to. So I'm not going to like every other person has said. I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you not to enjoy yourself, or not to get involved
Not to
in
leak.
sports activities. But not to leak play. You can do what you want to do, leak play, but please just be very. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I have been so very busy, even right now. I just decided that I must, at least, even if I just. As I see you, Dr. T, my man. All right, you guys.
Dr.
I'll be
Blessing,
back
thank you
in
so much.
a short
Thank you
while.
so Thank you very much. Dr. Israel, so we have added a lot to what Dr. Viva, Dr. Tintokwe, and Dr. John said for those who are engaged in oral sex, the advice given to them. Now, if you have any question for us, please start dropping your question in the comment section. We want to take your questions in the next 10 minutes, and then we are done. All your questions. Dr. Israel, is there anything you want to add to all we have said since the beginning of the conversation? And then we open it to everybody.
I like going straight to the point. My answer is no.
Okay, so we have a question in the house. Doctors in the house. Someone is asking us, so someone can get sore throat through oral sex? The answer is capital yes now. The answer is a capital yes. Now, you should pray to God that the cause of this your sore throat is not those very powerful microorganisms. Do you understand? You should pray to God that your sore throat is not caused by HPV, maybe the early stage of the cancerous lesion taking place in your throat. So yes, Amaka, people can get sore throat, and worse than sore throat, from leaking of plates. Okay, you want to share? You want to share it? Yes, go ahead. Your mic is muted. It's on mute. What happened? Your mic didn't mute you. Come out. Okay, so ask your questions, please, everybody. And Dr. Viva, is there anything else you want to add? Your mic is on mute, Dr. Viva.
Okay. Yeah, it's basically nothing I want to ask. for now.
Okay. Me, what I want to say is this. Okay, someone asked us a question, very good one. See this question. During oral sex, the sperm, does it have nutritional value to the body? Does the sperm have any nutritional value to the body? See, me, I don't want to make this thing look as if I want to be blunt and this. If you have any research back into this, please tell us in the house. But my dear, why should
Not soap for washing.
be leaking and drinking sperm for God's sake?
Okay.
Which nutrients are you looking for in the sperm that is not in your food? Please, Dr. Israel, go ahead.
Which can use this?
Yeah. The floor is open.
Am I
doctors.
back? I don't understand me and this network today.
My guy, your network is showing you shaking. Dr. John,
So-
go ahead.
Okay.
Dr. John.
Can I say something?
Who is that? Dr. Blessing.
Yeah. So, sorry, and my camera is off. So, but that sperm being nutritious, is one of the biggest terms we have ever heard. Sorry, I'm speaking pidgin English. They say sperm is proteinous. That's what I used to hear. It may be proteinous, though, of course, yeah, because of course it should be proteinous anyway. But does that now mean that I should go and start swallowing sperm raw? Is it palatable? Is it juice? Is it you God? You get so well. It may not really be harmful, but then let us be very sure. Like not all stem are healthy. Still boils down to be very careful, ensuring trusting your partner before you do anything. But if you ask me, don't say because stem is nutritious, you go and start following stem up and down. You get so let's not that shouldn't really be something we should really don't swallow
So,
stem if
Yeah. Dr. T.
I've actually searched this question before, long time ago. So sperm contains vitamin B, vitamin B12, vitamin C, your calcium, contains citric acid, fructose, lactic acid. It contains magnesium, zinc, potassium. It contains sodium and protein. But still, you can get all these things from your supplements. It's not something you need to go and be looking for, Mike. Meanwhile, on the female side, there's no documentation that says, everyone says the female juices are not of no nutritional value to the body. So you are licking plate. You are not getting anything. For the men, yes, you may gain some things, but you may also gain diseases. Why don't you go and take your supplement and leave the mic alone?
Yeah. Thank you. So I'll go to Dr. John very soon. But let me say this again. If you are licking sperm or you are swallowing sperm because of the nutrients, then you are a scammer. You are lying to yourself. If you really want to gain nutrients, I will tell you go and take supplements rather than licking sperm. How much sperm do you want to drink? Do you want to drink one bottle of sperm before you gain all the nutrients in the sperm, for God's sake? So let's stop hiding under the influence that I heard that sperm can make you look fresh. What about your sleep? What about your protein? What about your vitamins? Do you understand? So you can get them from that. Dr. John, have anything to add? Okay, we have one question here. Somebody's asking us, where can we get the HPV and hepatitis B vaccine? Is the vaccine free or do we have to pay? Dr. Viva, you want to react quickly to this?
Okay. I want to react. I think I was one that talked about the vaccine.
Yes.
You know, in Nigeria.
Oh dear.
Oh boy, oh. What happened, Dr. Viva? Okay, she's back. We can't hear you. Dr. Viva, we can't hear you.
Dr. Viva, we can't hear you.
She can't even hear us. That's the issue right now.
Oh dear.
Oh, Dr. John, can you hear me? Okay, Dr. John.
It's also muted.
Oh yeah, unmute your mic. Okay. Unmute your mic, Dr. John, so that we can hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
I hear you
Yes,
now.
we can.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, with this question, okay. Where can we get the HPV and hepatitis B vaccine? Okay. Now the HPV vaccines. I know some centers in Ibadan that's actually give this vaccine of any other locality. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure that some
Your network. Hey, Dr.
valuable
Oliver is back.
information to offer.
Okay, yes, I'm back.
Is
Let me.
back.
I want to say something about this where you can get these vaccines. In most general hospitals, that's the secondary health care centers, the general hospitals, I am sure they
Yeah.
have hepatitis B vaccine. So no
Mm.
matter the state you are and the local government, each local government has at least one general hospital, has the secondary health centers.
Mm.
So you can first start by going to the general hospitals. I'm sure you will get the hepatitis B vaccine there. I'm 100% sure. In most, let me not say 100% because this is Nigeria, but most general hospitals has the hepatitis B vaccine, and some may also have the human papilloma vaccine, HPV vaccine. So if you are interested in getting the hepatitis B vaccine only, you can go to the general hospitals and get it. But when it comes to the HPV, that's the human papilloma vaccine, you have to go to tertiary hospitals. I'm talking about a place that in most states in Nigeria where you can have it. So when you can have it, where you can get it from. So when it comes to human papilloma vaccine, you can get it in the tertiary hospitals, hepatitis B vaccine in general hospitals. So no matter out of the 36 states, there is always one tertiary hospitals. That's the teaching hospitals and the federal medical centers. So there is always one
Yeah.
or two in each state. So no matter the state you are, you must find this and you go ahead and get it.
Dr. Israel, are you back?
Okay, sorry.
Are you?
I want to say something about that as well.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
So apart from teaching hospital or general hospital, you can still get it in some big private hospitals, mostly the hepatitis B vaccine. The only difference is that maybe you are going to pay some amount to get it. But the HPV, you are actually going to pay whichever hospital you go. So military hospitals also have these vaccines. So when you get them, you'll be able to get the vaccines. But first thing first, you have to test yourself for hepatitis B. And for the HPV, you also have to do some tests before you can take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I also
Okay.
saw about that swallowing of sperm. And let me tell you the but as far as network gave me 5 minutes. Let me just use the opportunity to just say one or two things about the swallow of sperm. Let me say something. Remember when you are brushing your teeth, most of the time you still swallow some of the stuff you used to brush, even unknowingly you swallow some of these things. So it's also for you to know that when you engage in oral sex, unknowingly you swallow some of these things. You just swallow them unknowingly, mostly the semen, and for the female, the vaginal fluid, just swallow them unknowingly. So that actually the semen does not really have any substance that can cause any issue to everybody. Even though yes, it has some nutritional substance in the semen, but it's not enough to give any nutritional benefit into anybody that swallows it or drink it like water. It's not enough to give any nutritional benefit. Yes, why we have those ones there just because of the spermatozoa itself, which we actually feed on that and get it their own and have their own nutrients. So that's why we have it. So it's not for human itself. It's not. So if you really need any nutritional anything, please go and get your vitamin C, vitamin B, vegetables and all that. It will help. Not the swallowing of sperm. But I also what I'm trying to say is that swallowing of it's not like swallowing of the sperm. It is not like it's going to kill you. So that why I'm saying this, because even when you practice it without swallowing, at the process of doing it, you are already swallowing some. Just is a fact. It's just like when you are brushing, you already swallow some of the paste unknowingly. So it's the same. It's the same principle.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Israel. So we are rounding up right now. Let's give the mic to all the doctors on the platform. On the final notes, what would you want to say on this topic? Let's start with Dr. Blessing. Then after Dr. Blessing, we go to Dr. Temitope, then Dr. John, Dr. Viva, Dr. Israel. Dr. Blessing, you have the floor.
Okay, so yes, this topic have really been discussed. Even the few moments I've been here, so I think we have answered the question about surrounding, in fact, most of the questions in a very clear, simple term surrounding oral sex and oral sex hygiene and then diseases and associated dangers to it. It is simple. If you really want to do it, if we can do if we cannot do without it, meaning that it's best to do without it if you ask me. But we cannot do without it. It is very sure. Trust your partner in terms of her health or his health status. Of course, the only way to do that is to ensure that he is properly screened and you are aware that this guy is free from all sorts of infections. It could be HPV, it could be herpes, it could be hepatitis B, HIV, all sorts of infections. Be very, very sure is clean before you can get involved in all those kind of things. So douching the vagina is not enough. Washing the vagina, keeping it clean is not enough to wash away all sorts of possible infectious disease or whatever. That's a whole different topic on its own. So the best way to ensure that you trust your partner is to get trained. And please let us not be looking for excuse to do something funny. Don't say because sperm is protein of let's go and start swallowing sperm. All of us will just be looking for one kind of excuse to engage in some kind of crazy things. So yes, we have all answered that one clearly. It does not kill, sperm does not kill, vaginal fluid does not kill, but then they are not yogurt, they are not water, they are not milk. So if you really need your nutritional supplements or whatever, take fruits like we have also said. So it does it. Thanks guys, and I don't know what else I need to say. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Blessing. Dr. John, right? Dr. John, you have the floor. You would have to unmute, yes. Dr. John, you have to unmute your mic.
Hello.
Okay, good. Any final, We can hear you, Dr. John. So
Are we
any
hearing?
final words? Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. We've said so much actually. We've said so much, and I believe that that those who were part of this show have gotten to learn a lot. And just as a point of emphasis, what we really plead that people be aware of these things. Don't just do it because others are doing it. Don't just jump into the. Just start wash. Don't just jump into the kitchen and start washing and cleaning. Know what you are doing and know the repercussions and complications and be able to test it when it happens. So find out what it is, ensure that your partner is clean. While I went through that list, the things about those diseases you mentioned, and I noticed that syphilis is one of those deadly. Although all of them are actually very terrible, but the funny thing about syphilis is that it may not even give you symptoms within the first close to 3 months. You won't even know that you have it. So sometimes the person may even get screened and you won't see anything. So they show for the mic. Neither will it show in the mouth. Some people they will have an oral ulcer and they will think it's maybe one pepper that they ate. It can be syphilis and they wouldn't know, right? Someone was asking me about sore throat. It can actually be syphilis. Syphilis will can present as sore throat too, and they won't know. So honestly, it's safe to just keep off. But if they beg you no agree. And the thing wey you like with that, then take the precautions and play safe. I'll drop the mic there.
Yeah. Dr. T.
Yeah, there's a part of it that we've not mentioned, and I'll be quick about this. If you have, like we said, there may be no symptoms, but you may need to get screened. If number one, you have vaginal discharge, anal discharge, penile discharge from penis, unexplained and unusual. If there's itching in your vagina or you're burning on or the genitals, you may need to get screened. If you have sores or warts or bumps of irregular or unknown origin or strange ones around your mouth, around your genitals, you may need to get screened. If you have rash around your genitals or around your mouth, you need to get screened. If you have unexplained pain in your mouth or your throat, includes sore throat, you may need to get screened. If you have pain in your abdomen and your pelvis, you may need to get screened. Remember, it's for both male and female. If you have unusual vaginal bleeding, you may need to get screened. If you have pain during reproductive, during sexual intercourse, or if you have any of these things and you also engage in oral sex, you doubly need to get screened. Yeah.
Very, 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 very true. I wish people were documenting all those things.
Wow. Dr. Viva, anything to add
Yes.
to this as we round up?
Okay, basically we've said almost everything. So there is nothing I want to add because we've discussed almost every aspect of this topic.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Dr. Israel, network, they show you shaking. Hey, yeah, so sorry. I don't have anything to add. I believe we have spoken almost all that we need to tell you guys concerning oral sex. So finally, please tell them where they can find you on social media from Dr. T, Dr. Viva, Dr. John, Dr. Israel. Where can they find you on social media? Quickly, let's go.
Yeah, so on social media, the same name, Dr. Temitope. I'm on Facebook, the same name on TikTok, the same name on YouTube, Dr. Temitope's World on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Temitope. Just any of those names. I'm also on Instagram, and I can be found on any of those platforms.
Dr. John, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I just changed my name to my username. I use JD Doc as my username on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube as well, and Facebook, JD Doc.
Dr. Viva, where can we find you? Dr. Viva.
Viva is everywhere. She's on Google.
Okay. So you can find Dr. Viva on TikTok, I'm aware. I don't know if she's also on
TikTok,
Instagram. Yes, go ahead. Where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Dr. Viva. On Instagram, Dr. Viva Dara. Just after the Viva, at DARA. No underscore. Dr. Viva Dara is together. Then
okay,
on YouTube, Dr. Viva. On Facebook, I'm actually not really active on Facebook, but you can find Dr. Viva as well. On Twitter too, Dr. Viva.
Dr. Israel.
Viva Dara.
Viva Dara. Dr. Israel, where can we find you, sir? And how, Dr. Israel?
Yes.
Okay. Where can we find you on social media? Quickly.
Okay, I think Neta has given me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah.
say everything will
Dr. Israel, what's the happen now to your network? You know they hear me. Where can we find you quickly on social media? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear
Now we
me?
can. Now we
can.
can.
Okay. I say what we're saying is all about safe sex. So whatever you're practicing, whether it's oral sex, whether it's anal sex, vaginal sex, or whatever sex, it's all about safe sex practice. Safe sex practice. Yeah. So whatever you must do to be safe, it is better you do it. If you must practice oral sex, be sure that one, you yourself, you don't have, if you are the giver, be sure that you don't have ulcer in your mouth, and wherever you are putting your mouth into is safe and is safe for you. If you are the receiver, be sure that whoever is giving you is also safe, and you yourself, you are safe to protect the person in question. So it's all about safe sex practice. That's the most important thing, and that's what we are trying to tell you guys in this place today. So we are not even here to change your practice, what you've been doing or what you've not been doing. And it's also very important that if you've not been practicing it.
Okay. Network has given you your 2 minutes. Time up. So sorry, sir. So sorry. Okay. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to thank Dr. Tim Tokwe, Dr. JD, Dr. John, Dr. Viva for joining, Dr. Blessing, Dr. Israel. Thank you for joining. Now, very passionate appeal. People don't support the page. I don't really understand. You want us to really teach you, but you're not even sharing the live stream. We had over 50 people here, up to 90, but we didn't get up to 20 shares of the live stream. It's not really good. So help us share the live stream and follow the doctors you see here. You know me, my name is Dr. Fredosta on all platforms. That is the name. Everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Dr. Fredosta. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful night and a great week. And congratulations once again to all the Messi fans out there. Thank God for helping us. Take care. Yes, Dr. Tinyope, congratulations to all the Messi fans. Let me rub this on your face. This happens once in a lifetime. We've gotten the cup. We're not in another World Cup again.
Yeah. My wife. I made a video
achievement.
of my wife. I made a video of my wife shouting, "God of Messi, God of Messi." That's my boy.
This World Cup almost gave me. Oh, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody. Thank you.
Great.
I have to go. Doctors, you can go on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ending the broadcast. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bro.